come to say hello
Mr.
to you.
McCausland, who's the oldest resident, member of Mairs, he's 104. No, you can give off to him now. You said you want to give off. I'm the minister. Come to see you. Across the wall. That's right. He wants your picture. This gentleman here wants your picture.
We just wait for everything to settle. The listeners who could not hear.
Welcome, Minister, to our simple play, writ especial for your call today. There's life and lies and little do's, and romance that will head the news. Yet there be within your writ, whom when the barb of trust has bit, will suffer stiffly in their chair, while silently they lose their hair. Though never has there been a time when truth is deemed a common crime. So bear with us as we unfold the plight of those who have grown old.
It was a cold and dark October's day in the year of our Lord 1693. Well, it wasn't really, it was last year actually. Right. The beautiful Lady Banks sits contented by the fire. In her ivory hands, knitting needles chatter. She is making a rustic polo neck for someone special. Lady Banks is happy. Happy and daydreaming about the Christmas Yuletide that is soon to be celebrated at her lovely home by the sea. Lady Banks' ancestral home sits proudly overlooking the Loch of Belfast. Time has been kind to her and her home is in good shape, despite the nasty rumours of dry rot and expensive repairs, which are totally unfounded and should be completely ignored. sorry. Lady Banks is thankful to be living in this beautiful home, a home that has been hers for many years, a home in which many of her friends have stayed when the world outside becomes just a trifle too hard to bear. Suddenly, Lady Banks hears the sound of a man's footsteps outside her door.
Who could it be? For I am expecting no one to call on this cold October day.
The knocker on the mighty front door slams 3 times.
It is Fergus, the Hun, the keeper. Come on, Ed. The keeper of the purse from Bleak House in the new town of Arts.
A cold wind blows through the house as Fergus the Hun enters. Cut.
Your time!
Got to get their instructions.
Now, lovies, darlings, I did ask for wind. What do you give me? Indigestion. See what that says. Look. Let's try it again. A cold wind blows through the house. A cold wind blows through the house. Right, shall we try that again? A cold wind blows through the house. Fergus.
You are charged
with the grievous crime of failure to make a profit. This is a crime which we cannot tolerate. We are down to our last million groats, you know. Well, I think we are. Oh, it's so hard to know how much we have, because nobody at Bleak House can count past 3. Take notice that as soon as we can get away with it, your house is to be sold, and you and your friends will be transported from whence to somewhere cheaper. Silence, miserable serfs. You are no longer of use or interest to us, and the housing of the old and elderly will no longer be tolerated. What do you think we are? A charity?
Sorry. Tears fall down the fair face of the Lady Banks.
Protect me in my hour of darkness. Who will save me?
Lady Banks cries softly through the nights. Lady Banks cries softly through the nights.
Don't cry, lady, wipe that tear from your eye. Though your world may be shattered and gone, don't cry, lady, when those dark clouds are high. Don't you just hide the dawn. Don't cry, ladies. Don't cry, ladies. Don't cry, ladies.
Once again, the knocker on the the mighty front door knocks.
Oh no, not more bad news. I fear I cannot take the strain. Who goes there?
It is I, Marion, the smithy's son, friend of the Banks.
It is Marion, the smithy's son, and friend of the Banks. Ooh. Oh dear.
What brings tears to those fair eyes, good Lady Banks?
Oh, good and kind sire, we are doomed to be sold and cast from our humble home.
Fear not, sweet lady, for I, Marion, the smithy's son, friend of the Banks, will rouse the world to your plight. I will not let them toss you from your home like some worn-out slipper. This cannot be allowed. We will fight, won't we?
Hold on, back again. He threw me, right. Look deeply into your eyes again, right. Marion rushes off silently into the night. Get off. Keep your hair. Silently into the night. Oh. Amateurs. To begin his long and lonely fight to save the Lady of the Banks. But he is not lonely in his fight for long, for here enters the noble councillors from the castle to our story. The handsome.
That's me.
That was close enough. Try it again. The handsome. There's supposed to be about 6 councillors jump up and say yes, you know. The handsome. That's good enough. The beautiful.
That's me.
That's good enough. The dashing. That's good enough. And kind nobles from the castle. You notice that I didn't say
I
modest.
can't even get that word
Yeah, no, that's
right.
right. And that ruined the whole joke, you know. No sooner didst they hear of the Ladybank's sorry plight, did they cast their votes to a man and a woman in favour of the lady and her friends of the banks. And these nobles didst declare that it was
a fight to the death.
and that the keepers of the purse should
Leave the lady of the banks alone and go and pick on someone their own size.
This did also rally the kindly and gracious ministers of the Crown, who didst also loudly support the sweet lady of the banks.
Finally, after many a long and worrying winter's night, Fergus the Hun deemed that the lady of the banks and her friends would be
allowed a meeting to air the views of the serfs,
and that he, the warrior knight from the new town of Ars, would
attend to quell the noisy hoods.
And in due course the nobles and serfs didst attend in force, and the meeting began thus.
Will you I come to evict the lady of the banks, and not to
What authority do you dare to evict such a sweet lady as I?
I have every authority because I am the charter man.
But thou hast no right to carry the mark of the charter. Thou hast not earned it.
Quiet, wench. Do you want everyone to hear that? That'll be our little secret, eh?
Many words of common sense were spoken that eve from nobles and serfs alike, and then suddenly the room was still, when a council noble from the castle did ask a telling question.
Fergus the Hun, thou didst hear many a word spoken in sense this night, and thou didst hear many a sorry plea from many a sorry serf and their very sorry-looking families. Has this melted your cold heart 1 degree?
A hush fell on the gathered masses as they awaited Fergus the Hun's reply. Legend has it that a tiny tear fell from his eye as he spoke.
I have listened with care. I have searched the deep corners of my heart, and I have heard what you say, my liege, with a new enlightenment and a new knowledge, and the answer is nay. Not 1 degree has my heart melted. I shall have my new X-registered carriage. I shall have my new semi-detached castle. I shall have my way. I shall have my way.
But where are the documents that you promised us? The documents which put facts to your case.
I forgot.
He said softly, as his very cheeks did redden with the embarrassment of it all, and he did scrawl from the meeting in shame. But sure as winter follows spring. That was a joke. Did Lady Banks remember that she was promised an independent advocate?
I was promised an independent advocate.
And she spoke to her friends thus.
Fergus the Hun, keeper of the purse, said I could have an independent advocate, so it must be true. And should the advocate fail, I can always appeal to... now, what was the name that Fergus the Hun used? Oh, yes. The mysterious and comely Leggy Denton, Baroness of the Purse, a lady with mythical magic powers, a leggy lady with a hefty heart.
And Lady Banks did bid Fergus the Hun to her humble home.
Where is this paragon of virtue to suffer my pleading and judge independently? I hereby demand an advocate. Not an avocado, an advocate.
Begone and don't annoy me.
Or words to that effect, didst he say. And Lady Banks did go away, but she did annoy him further, and took her case for an independent avocado to the Lords of the High Court, where they did say to Fergus the Hun, keeper of the purse,
Go and do as you promised and appoint this honourable type of chappie. or else we'll give you a right royal kick in the rear end.
After many deliberations, an honourable type chap S was found. It is the Lady Avocado from the house of Calvert Crawfordsburn, widely known as the avocado who is not green, a wise and noble person of great virtue, intelligence, and independent. Hope is high for the Lady of the Banks.
Oh, high is my hope.
But time drags by, and once again the Lady Banks waits through long days and nights for news of her future and her home. March and April drag by slowly. Then the Norman Lord, Fergus, ruler of the board, declares that he can't ignore the pleas of the Lady of the Banks any longer. He's leaving that job to Fergus the Hun, who is more able to ignore her pleas, for he is a professional. May arise, and with the spring comes news from Lady Avocado. It is her scroll of judgment. But wait, the scroll of judgment does not arrive. And wait she did, through June, through July, through August, and through September.
To wait for love is a lonely way. To wait for life away. To wait for words that will tell the tale is to wait and to wait in haste. Is to wait and to wait in haste. Is to wait and to wait in haste.
At last, many weeks later, the scroll of the advocate arrives, amidst great pomp and splendour.
We do say, that's the royal we of course, that in all our 600 pages, that this home of the Lady of the Banks should remain, for now and for always.
Now we know that the keeper of the purse will be forced to allow me to live out my life in the home where I have lived for so long. And now all my friends can come and stay when the world gets too rough.
September comes in all its glory. September when the world is gold and russet, and a hint of a missive arrives from Fergus the Hun, keeper of the purse, in which he decrees that
a meeting of the masters of the board will take place in the boardroom of the great house in the new town of Ard, and all serfs, nobles, and lords will be able to partake. For I am paid to listen to a lot of boring moans and gripes, and this will look good on my CV when I apply for my new public relations job. Storyteller.
Sorry. On this grand occasion, many from near and far didst attend, and much was the power and the presence of the lords of the Parliament, the nobles of the castle, the reverend of the church, the family of the Lady Banks, Marion the Smithy's son, friend of the Banks, and many lowly serfs. Much wind was expelled, and much heat was endured, and much good it all did. But wait, the great lords of the boardroom have declared that they have suffered a change of heart.
We will not sell your house from beneath your feet, sweet lady. This is not our way, for we have a much better idea. We'll have our sale of the century! That's right, guys, gals, ladies and gentlemen, it's the sale of the century! Not only will you have the chance to buy into this luxury villa by the sea, but with every bedroom we sell, you get your own very own little old lady. Thrown in, absolutely free. That's right, your very own little lady. Absolutely free. Just think how envious your neighbors will be when you come home with your own little old lady. No guarantees of reliability, of course, and no gipsies back street.
Go granny, go granny, go granny, go. Go granny, go granny, go granny, go. Go granny, go granny, go. Go granny, go!
that we will sell you with the house. It's common sense, or we'll get a much better price if we include an indentured slave. And don't count on Baroness Lady Denton to save you, for she has moved on to pastures new and will not be interfering in my plans anymore.
At this, Marion the smithy son declares that he has had enough
I have had enough.
and draws his sword.
Fight, foul wretch. Put thy sword in thy hand and fight. For I cannot bear to see my sweet lady suffer so, the lady that I love.
Oh, Marion, and I love you.
It's true love that we all adore. It's true love that we need.
Get on with it. Go on with the fighting. Get on with the fighting. Go on. That's it.
And now, my troublesome lady, your time has come. Then I will attend to the rest.
Oh, please spare me and my friends. Who out there has the power to save me? Who can help the lady of the banks?
Indeed! Who out there has the power to save the lady of the banks?
This could be the end, ladies and gentlemen. It could also be just the beginning. But just remember this next time you're feeling down.
And when you're smiling, when you're smiling, the whole earth smiles with you. And when you're laughing, the sun comes shining through.
But when you're crying, it'll rain on the rain.
So stop your crying, be happy again. When you're smiling, the whole world smiles with you.
Stop! There's a player amongst us who has yet to speak.
A player?
A principal player, no less. And this play will not end till his words are spoke.
And who is this player?
Yes, who is this player?
And what are these lines?
Thank you. The player sits before us, and his lines cannot be heard just yet.
And how in the name of Zeus do we end this play?
Yes, tell us.
This play cannot end till the principal player has spoke, and his time to speak has not yet come. So till then we must wait and hope. We must wait and hope that he always remembers the sweet ladies and gentlemen of the banks.
Then here's 3 cheers to the ladies and gentlemen of the banks, and 3 cheers to the principal speaker, who has yet to speak.
Sorry, could I just say to everyone, follow that. On behalf of everyone, thank you to our strolling minstrels and players. Thank you very much. I've said that a lot over this past year to many people coming down from home to entertain. Thank you to everyone. Thank you to the Minister for coming today. He has listened to the Friends of the Banks, our councillors. He's heard our presentation. He's now going to have a walk around the home. And I will give him a copy of the play in case he forgets what he said. Take my name on it.
Can I just say that I've enjoyed my visit here. I suppose if I delayed coming, they might have got their act a little bit more. But as an incipient pantomime, I have to say it's one of the best I've seen. So congratulations to you to write a script in that short time. I suppose it smacks of moral blackmail. But I've unfortunately got a lot of these problems on my plate. I just hope they're all as entertaining as this one. But thank you anyway, and thank you for coming. And I shall now have a quick look round and hope to keep you out of suspense very soon.
Thank you very much.